Hello everybody and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John and today I'm going to be doing my April reading wrap up. I almost forgot, I almost said TBR. I don't know why. I did my May TBR, but yeah, this is going to be my April reading wrap up. It is hot here. It's kind of stuffy, so yeah, you're going to have to put up with the guns or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, so I did 11 books in April. I didn't have as prolific a month as I did in March or February. Yeah, I did 11 books. 3 of them were on my Kindle, and then the rest of them were paperbacks. So I'm going to start with the ones on my Kindle, and I'm going to try to remember off the top of my head the rating I gave for these. So the first one I'm going to talk about is The Last Porno Theater, and this is by Nick Cato. And basically what this book is about is just what it says. It is about the very last brick and mortar, adult movie theater in New York, in Times Square. All the other ones, all the hookers are gone, all the adult bookstores, all the porno theaters are gone. This is the last one. It's all been taken over by corporations. So that is part of what it is about, but it is also partly about a giant naked lady. I repeat, a giant naked lady. That way you don't have to rewind to go, what did he just say? Yeah, all right. It is pretty bizarro. Now, it's not Carlton Mellick III bizarro, but it's there. It's close. All right. I enjoyed this. It was a novella. It was just so quirky that I just had a great time with it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. All right. So there you go. All right. Next up is... I believe this was called, I had my notes, I don't have them on my Kindle Fire, and it's not on, I don't want to wait to turn it on. I believe this was called Boggy Creek Casebook, 1908 to the present day, which is like 2020 or 2019. And this is compiled by Lyle Blackburn, who also wrote the Boggy Creek Monster and a couple other books on cryptids. Really excellent writer in that field. And this is basically about just what it says. It is accounts of encounters with the Falk monster, the Boggy Creek monster, from the year 1908 to the present. I really enjoyed this. I'm a Bigfoot enthusiast, so yeah, to read something like this was really awesome. That's why I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. All right. Last but not least, on the ebooks, I've got one called The Visitor, and this is by Sergio Gomez. I really want to say I wish I didn't, I'm going to say this. I wish I would have been, I wanted to like this a little bit more than I did. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I'm not really sure why it just didn't completely click with me, because the premise was really excellent. You've got this roadside diner, this mom and pop roadside diner. In fact, I think the thing is made out of a railroad car or something like that. But anyway, it's a snowstorm. There's a big blizzard and stuff, and there are people inside the diner that they're pretty much stuck there. All right. That's not too bad. They're all strangers, but they kind of get to know each other. But then you've got this alien creature and its alien dog tracking these people down and picking them off one by one. You know, so like I said, this makes for a really, what you would figure would be a really awesome read, but I don't know, something just did not click with me. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the paperbacks. All right, first one up is from Silver Shamrock Publishing. This is The Devil's Mistress, and this is by David Barclay. And this is about a young girl of about 15, 16 years old named Isabella. And Isabella, her dad, is really sick. Now, this takes place back during the time like the Salem witch trial. Well, it takes place a little bit before that or after that. Let me find out here. I can tell you because he did an afterward. 1705, 12 years after the Salem witch trials and 30 years before the 1735 Witchcraft Act. Anyway, Isabella, her dad is really sick, so she goes to visit this enchantress. You can read that as witch if you want to. And the enchantress gives her a spell, tells her to give it to her dad, or a potion, tells her to give it to her dad, and it should help him. Well, dad ends up dying, and Isabella is arrested and is accused, or she's accused of being a witch, and she is arrested. And you know what happens to witches when they are arrested, or to women who are accused of being witches. So in a way, I don't want to spoil too much. So you have to ask yourself, ask yourself, is Isabella going to become the very thing that she's accused of, even though she is actually innocent? And that's not a spoiler. That's on the back of the book right here. So there you go. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I just thought it was a really well done historical witchcraft, horror, thriller, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So that's The Devil's Mistress. All right, moving on. We've got by Russell James, another Silver Shamrock. This is his book, Farallon Island. Again, this is sent to me again by Silver Shamrock Publishing. And this is about a island. This island is a lighthouse island. In other words, that means there's a lighthouse on it. And the people that live there, the men that live there with their families, it is their responsibility to keep that lighthouse running, up and running, all right? Keep that light on, okay? So what happens is one of the kids in one of the families awakens this demon from this cave, and this demon just goes around possessing whoever it can possess, and it's kind of up to the rest of the people that are not possessed to figure out a way to get rid of this thing. I give this one 3 out of 5 stars. It didn't thrill me, but I didn't hate it either. So yeah, I think 3 out of 5 is pretty good. That's above average, because 2.5 would be right there at average. So there you go. Farallon Island. Next up by Aaron Beauregard. Now this one here, this particular wrap up, there's going to be a good bit of extreme horror in this one, okay? I think at least 3 of the books I've got are extreme horror, are fairly extreme. Anyway, this is Yellow by Aaron Beauregard. It's about this guy and his wife, and they run this convenience store in the Bronx or somewhere in New York. It may not be the Bronx. But anyway, this guy has the worst luck. These thugs come in every single day. They harass him. They harass his wife. They steal from his store. They threaten him. They do all kinds of things. One night they break into his house and they sexually assault his wife, make him watch, and then they do things to him that no man should ever have done to him. So this dude who is Yellow, he's a coward. Something clicks up in his head, and I will just say this. The things that he does to the people who wronged him, oh, good Lord. All right? I mean, he does something with the fireplace poker to one person's nether regions, and I'm talking about a hot fireplace poker, that I swear I don't think I've stopped shuddering about this since, man. It'll give you nightmares. Anyway, I freaking love this, man. This is extreme horror at its absolute best. 5 out of 5 right here. There you go. All right. Okay, moving on. I got 2 novelettes here. One of them is by our very own Spooky Noodles, Nicholas Gray, and this is Field of Fiends. And this is about a group of kids. They're probably about 12, 13, 14 years old. They sneak out at night, go into a cornfield, and they play flashlight tag. Well, this time when they do it, and it's narrated by this kid, and he's narrating, and he's got a little brother that he just absolutely loves. It doesn't matter that the little brother is black. He's white, the little brother's black. He's a foster kid or adopted kid or whatever, but it's just really cool to have this camaraderie between these 2 brothers. Anyway, this ugly beast right here is also in the cornfield, and these kids, man, they're getting picked off one by one, so they got to figure out what the hell do we do to get out of here. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And Nick, I hope you're watching this, man. This is no slight on you at all. But I don't know who did your editing, but sometimes it took me out of the story. And again, like I said, maybe I shouldn't be that nitpicky, but I want you to have a good editor. So I'm hoping you find one really soon, because when you do, man, the writing that you do is absolutely going to just freaking take off, all right? So there you go, buddy. 4 out of 5 for Field of Fiends. All right, moving on to the next novelette. We got Nang Tani, and this was sent to me by Sion Das. This is by Lee Franklin. And it's about this guy. He's in Thailand. He's got his 21st birthday. and he wants this tattoo of this local deity known as Nang Tani. And it's kind of one of those things, be careful what you wish for. And everybody refuses. They're like, no, we're not doing that. We're not putting that tattoo on you. It's cursed and all that stuff. And he just threatens and bitches and moans until somebody finally accepts his money and does it. And then Nang Tani comes to life, and it is not pretty. This is some definite extreme horror. Not as extreme as Yellow, but still pretty close up there. I believe I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. So there you go, Nang Tani. All right, got 3 books left here. Now, this is my last one of extreme horror. If I remember correctly, this was sent to me by Speculative Magpie, so thank you for that, Speculative, if I'm correct. And if I'm not, I don't remember who sent it. I apologize for that. And if you see this video, let me know it was you, okay? Anyway, this is Merciless by Brian Smith. And this is about a couple, 20-something couple, and they have this fantasy that they want to bring to reality, and that is to capture somebody and kill them. And not just kill them, but to torture them. So they capture this guy. His car breaks down in about the same location as theirs, or where they are. And they take this guy and they take him to this remote cabin. There's not supposed to be anybody coming up. They torture him. They're going to kill him. All of a sudden, some of the relatives of the husband show up, the entire family. And now you've got these two that have got to figure out not only what to do with this guy that they've captured, but what do we do with these people? And we can't let them go, sort of thing. There's murder, torture, there's crosses, double crosses, just everything within this book. I really enjoyed this, gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Merciless, Brian Smith. All right, moving on. Let's get this done quick here, all right? The next up is Cruel Summer by Wesley Southard. Why it took me so long to read this book, I don't know. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I'll tell you that right now, right off the bat. Anyway, this is about this woman and her son. He's like 12 years old, and they're on their way to Florida for some rest and relaxation. She's had kind of a hard life and stuff, and, she wants her kid to have some good things. Anyway, that's not going to happen because they are also with her new husband and the stepfather, Hoyt. And if you think this is a monster right here, well, then there's Hoyt, okay? This dude is a complete and absolute total tool to not only her, he's abusive to the kid. He is just an absolute piece of crap, all right? So they think they get rid of him, and by get rid of, I mean get rid of, all right? But what happens when a human monster comes back as something else? Because that's what Hoyt comes back as, and he's even worse, and he is just... this is almost kind of like Sleeping with the Enemy meets cosmic horror kind of sort of thing, all right? Or meets undersea horror or whatever. I mean, I love this book, man. I just went through this thing so quick. It was awesome, all right? 5 out of 5, Cruel Summer. All right, last but not least, we've got The Witch of Halloween House by Jeff DeGordick. All right, and this is the first book in a 2-part series, or maybe more, I don't know, but the other one is called The Witches of Halloween Haven. This is about this house on the edge of town, and everybody thinks the lady living in it is a witch, or they have suspicion or whatever because she's weird, she's reclusive or whatever, and these kids start to go missing, and they think that she's got something to do with it, and they burn her house down with her in it. All right, and before she dies, she puts a curse on the entire town. So 3 years later, Halloween time, you got these other kids that start to go missing. The only thing is the parents could care less. It's like, what's going on here? Something's going on with the parents where they don't even notice or care about their kids missing. And it's up to this girl and her brother, Carmen and Tommy, I believe his name is. She's 19, he's 9, to figure out what the hell is going on, all right? I give this one, I believe I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is The Witch of Halloween House. All right, that's going to do it. That is my April reading wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like my channel, I usually don't beg like this, and I don't like to do that. If you like my channel, though, please subscribe. If you like my videos, hit the thumbs up, and please feel free to comment. I try to comment on everybody's comments, okay? Unless you're just being an absolute tool or a troll, and I can pretty well tell when you're doing that, okay? Or when someone is doing that. Anyway, it is Sunday. It's going to post on Monday. You guys enjoy the working week that's coming up, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.